Hello and good evening, my dear friends. This is bedelicious channel. Today I want to make a very useful video regarding some issues that I had with my BMW f30 2012 plate. So basically every single error I got and I get it done, fixed. It takes a lot of time and a lot of, it's a lot of controversial words to put in. It's ridiculous. I mean, in a BMW, whenever an error shows up in a iDrive, it could be millions of things, and reading through all the threads online and all these codes online and all these websites, it just drives you mad because it's different from one car to each other, and it could be so many things. It's absolutely insane. Don't get me wrong, this BMW served me so well. I've got 184,000 miles on, and it drives beautiful. It's a beautiful machine. It's a sport machine. It's a lovely car. But whenever you have an issue, because it's so many sensors and so many bloody electronic things inside, it's just sometimes you can end up spending hundreds of pounds to find that issue, and you can't find it. Because at the moment, to be honest with you, most of the mechanics, they call themselves mechanics, but they're not mechanics, brothers. They are only guys that change parts, you know what I mean? That it's ridiculous. I mean, I give you an example, guys. I have a drag noise on my rear suspension passenger side, and I've been to so many mechanics. They don't have a clue what could be, you know what I mean? It says that it's normal for BMW, and he says it could be that. Let's change that. Let's change that. Let's change that. You spend 300-400 pounds, and the sound is still there, and then call themselves mechanics. So that's the reason that every single time when I have an issue with my car, I will make a video for you guys so you know what it might be. It might be helpful, it might be different for you, but probably it will help you. I know that from my previous videos that I've done regarding the issues on the BMW, so many of you find the information so useful, and it did work what I said. And we start with the mirror from front where the alarm is. The lights wouldn't come up, and I gave them the solution and it didn't work. Some guys wrote to me, God bless you, bro, I found the issue, I didn't have a clue what to do, and blah blah blah. And with the yaw sensor again, that is located under the driver's seat, it cost me £1,000 to find that issue. Even at the BMW, when I was with that yaw sensor, they were telling me that it's the steering rack. So everything what is related to a sensor, or the BMW tried to make you to change the steering rack. Another one, I had a problem with the suspension on the front. I bought a pair of Chinese suspension, and I made a video for you guys. Do not buy any bloody Chinese suspension, because they won't last. They're absolutely pathetic. You spend 400 pounds and it will last you not even 1 year. That's just simple shit. So I don't buy it. And I had to find the issue. I was going to so many mechanics, and they all said steering rack, steering rack, steering rack, steering rack. And I was so mad about it. Everybody says steering rack. Hello! If BMW's got problems with some particular steering racks in some models, that does not mean that it's obviously my car as well. I said it's not a steering rack. I fight with them, I said there's not a steering rack, mate. The steering rack doesn't vibrate while you're driving. It doesn't knock. It doesn't do nothing. It's a vibration somewhere else. It's a knock somewhere else. It doesn't mean that it's a steering rack. Anyway, I said to the mechanic, change the suspension, put the old one back. Put the old suspension back, no knocks, no nothing. Oh, bro, you're right. It was the suspension. Hello, good morning. But anyway, This is the mechanics in those days, you know what I mean? Absolutely ridiculous. The only one mechanic I know in Northern Ireland that is really good, and he does BMW, and once you go there and he fixed that issue for you, it's gonna be fixed and you won't go back. It is the guy from Hillsborough. It's expensive. It's an approved BMW garage, but I'm telling you, he knows what he's doing. It's pricey, but it's good. I done the timing chain to him. It's been a year, no problem. I've done some sensors to him that it was so hard even for BMW to find them. No problem. I've done the EGR to him. No problem. I've done different things to him every single time when he does a job, even if it's pricey, but he does it properly. Anyway, let's go back to the subject that I want to speak today. So the issue I had last week, it was in a night drive show up a message saying that it's the train chain, you know. And I was like, what's going on? You could drive. It says possibly to drive, possibly to continue the journey, but check the problem to a specialist. So I went to some people, you know. Man, I've got this error. What could it be? I put my own diagnose. It was showing me the DPF. It's gone. I mean, it's gone. It's the DPF. I had two errors: 244-800, 244-900. Apart from that, there were no issues with any faults codes in my car. So I thought for the beginning, you know, what it could be. It's just because the DPF has been resetted 6 years ago, and now it reached the 0 miles remaining until the replacement, because this is what he was saying actually in the OBD when I put the diagnose on. Or it could be different things. I read online so many messages, I looked to so many videos, there were so many parts that people were talking about this, you know, sensor, valves. Oh my god. I mean, it will give you a sore head, to be honest with you. It's like looking for hours, and every single thread that you read online, it's different. So I was like, welcome to the BMW again. Maybe you're gonna spend another £1,000 just to find the issue. I thought it's the AGR coolant that has been done by a recall from BMW last year, but this is the second time I've done the AGR, because it was twice recalled, one time in Norwich and one time in Belfast, and every single time it's been replaced. I never had an issue with that, so I was like, hard to believe that is that one, but people saying that could be that one, and I gave up, you know, and I went to a mechanic and I asked, wait, what it could be, you know, because I'm a little bit confused. It could be related to the DPF. And it says, well, I put the diagnose on and it only shows the DPF, so it could be the DPF. So I said, okay, it's the DPF. He reset my DPF, the error gone, you know. However, you need to understand one thing: resetting the DPF could end up destroying the turbo. So you need to be very, very careful when you are resetting the DPF. Because if you don't know what you're doing and you reset more than it should, because you need to reset from the DPF, you need to reset so many sensors from the ECU connected to the ECU, and that's dangerous. So I'm telling you, if you want to reset the DPF, you need to get some proper knowledge if you don't want to destroy the turbo. Anyway, this mechanic reset with the OBD reset the DPF, and the error gone. It says you have three options: whether you take them off, I mean take the claps off and disconnect it from the ECU, you know, call the ECU, will cost you £400, you will pass MOT, blah blah blah. And I don't like these things, you know, because the mechanics tells you the easiest version for them, because they don't care about your car. But let's break it down like that. If you take the DPF off, like disconnect it, because you can't take it off when you're in the UK because it's illegal. You won't pass the MOT and you can get the fine up to 5k, something like that. Where all these ashes will go if it doesn't go in the DPF? It will go in your turbine, it will go in your AGR, it will go into your engine block, and probably you're gonna drive another 1-2 years. Then it's gonna get clogged all over the place, and then you dump the car, which I don't want it. I mean, with a proper maintenance, with a genuine oil, good oil for your car, and with parts changed in time, your engine is supposed to last in a BM for at least 500,000 miles. I've got nearly 200,000 miles in mine, and the engine is spot on, the transmission is spot on, the AGR is good, the turbine, no problems, there's the glow plugs, no problems, genuine ones, still genuine ones. And you see what I mean? It's just the way you maintain the car. If you're Scrooge and you think that the oil for 45 pounds that you're supposed to put in your engine, and you find the Tesco one or whatever, Walmart one, the same brand but it's cheaper, obviously that it's going to be cost very pricey for you in a long time. But I've owned this car for 6 years, and I always put genuine parts on it, and I always change the oil in time and do the maintenance properly, and I have got no issues with that. Regarding the engine, it drives beautiful. And I went to a guy because that says that he will clean the DPF. We all know that cleaning the DPF, it could be working, it could not be working, or you could destroying the DPF, or you can lead to different problems. When I went there, he started the process for cleaning the DPF. It was a shock for me because he didn't remove the DPF from the car. He just connect all these chemicals inside, and he started the process. And I watch every single step because I want to make sure that it does it. So after half an hour, the engine raving, and all these chemicals gone through the system, and all this. When it connect the pipe back and release all the chemicals from the DPF outside through the exhaust, through the catalytic converter and through the exhaust, all the foam came clear. Hardly any ashes came off. It came something, but not mud, black, pure black, smoky thing. However, beside all this, my exhaust pipe, it's absolutely clear. There is not even one point of black smoke on the exhaust. Never been, never be. I can show you for 6 years driving it. So as I said, it's very important how you maintain the car and what you put inside the car, oil and all these things. And before I've done the DPF, he was saying on my Carista and his OBD, the more sophisticated one, that I have accumulated 63.7 grams of the ashes inside the DPF. After the process that is done, the cleaning, it was saying 0.0. However, I'm driving the car now for a couple of days and it still shows 0, which means it's clear and it drives beautiful. The mile per gallon, it's better. But the most important thing is how you maintain the car. And as I said, after they cleaned the DPF, it restarted the regeneration, the force regeneration in the car, and it told me now the car it's on the active regeneration of the DPF. So you need to drive at least 10-20 minutes on over 60 miles an hour, 2,500 revs, and it's gonna complete the regeneration and it's gonna be beautiful. The exhaust is gonna look amazing, the DPF. So this is what I've done. I drove for 15 minutes. I drove like 28 to 30 minutes in a long 70 miles an hour on a sport. It it drank it just drank like a lot of diesel, but I don't care about the diesel. I care about the DPF because it's more expensive to replace it, you know. And after a week it still shows me 0. So as I said, it's the way you maintain the car, guys. So if you have that message coming through the drivetrain coming on and it says possibly to continue journey, check your DPF, put a diagnose on the car, see what's the fault codes is coming off, clear all the codes, and then reconnect the diagnose again and see which one are staying, which codes, faulty codes are coming back. For me, it was only the DPF that shows up. Apart from that, guys, that was my experience with this problem. I hope I will help someone, because we all know that a visit to mechanic costs a lot of money. That guy, just to reset my DPF, he asked me 25 pounds, and he says 25 pounds because you're a regular customer. Normally I charge 65 pounds. 65 pounds just to connect the diagnose on to reset the sensor for fucking 3 minutes. So good luck with that, guys. Remember, if you want to keep the car going for a long time, use the proper oil. Read on internet what oil you need to use. Don't get foolish by these Euro car parts and all these company that sells online by the by the registration plate, because they always lying to you. I had an experience with that. When I ordered online the oil 5W30M, but this is the correct oil for N47 engines, twin turbo engines from BMW. That is the correct engine oil. 5W30 Castrol Edge M, not LL. When I went to the collection, it gave me 5W30 Castrol Edge LL. And I was like, hello, what are we talking here? I said, man, I ordered M. No, this is for your registration plate. It shows here. I said, I don't give a damn what it says on the registration plate. I asked you to give me a 5W30 M. I don't want the LL. Come here. And I show. On the bottle here, it says it's a Volkswagen Golf, Volkswagen Group. Please show me the BMW here. I said to him, show me the BMW here. Oh, yes, it's not for BMW. Okay. So they will try to rip you off and sell you bullshit oil. Do not believe. Go on Castrol. This is the original oil that you can use, or it's another one from a French company that I heard it's a proper oil, good like Castrol, but I use only Castrol because this is what it says on iDrive. This is what it says the BMW. I've been using it for 6 years, no issue with the engine. So I think if I drove the car 180,000 miles with this oil and it's no issues, I think this is the correct oil. And I'm not lying to you guys. So however, go on Castrol, put your registration plate, and it will tell you correctly what it's going to be, your correct oil. So this is what it says to me. For f30 and 47 engine diesels, 8 automatic transmission ZF, the correct oil is Castrol Edge 5W30M, and it goes in the engine 5.2 liters. So this is the correct oil. Use it and you will see the difference. I mean, I'm not lying to you. I can show you on my dashboard 184k drove with only Castrol Oil Edge 5W30M. I do not make advertising for Castrol, but I'm telling you what I've been using and what I think is efficient for the car, and it drives beautiful. Good luck, boys, and I hope I did help someone.